From misunderstanding to life-changing opportunity, watch Emily's journey. Imagine sitting at your desk thinking your boss might have feelings for you, only to find out the truth will change your life forever. A single phone call, a mysterious message, and a decision that could take you across the world. Will she take the leap? Stay with me, because this story is about dreams, mistakes, and discovering who you really are. Emily, a 24-year-old travel coordinator, sat quietly at her desk in the bustling New York travel office, scrolling through flight prices for a client desperate for a budget-friendly ticket. The office was calm that Tuesday morning, just 3 other people typing quietly, the faint hum of computers the only sound. She loved her job, mostly, even if it wasn't always glamorous. Booking tickets, arranging hotels, planning trips, it was rewarding, yet repetitive. Her boss, Mr. Blake, was the kind of man who inspired respect without demanding it. He was 38, polite, always said good morning, and had a way of noticing hard work without overdoing it. Emily liked him. She trusted him. He wasn't the kind of boss who made anyone feel small. That morning, as Emily compared flight fares to Madrid for a last-minute client request, she overheard voices from Mr. Blake's office. The door was slightly ajar. She didn't intend to eavesdrop, but a few words slipped through. "She's amazing. Perfect. I really like her," a male voice said. Emily froze, her finger hovering over the keyboard. Could he be talking about her? "She works hard. She's smart. She has good energy. I watch her every day," he continued. Her heart raced. Every word seemed to land directly on her. Was Mr. Blake interested in her? Emily's mind spun with possibilities. Just last month had been her birthday. He'd brought chocolate to the office and wished her a happy day. At the time, she'd thought it was simply a kind gesture. But now, hearing this, she couldn't help but wonder. When Emily handed him a report later that morning, he smiled warmly. "Good job, Emily," he said. His usual calm demeanor made her pulse quicken. At lunch, she confided in her friend Sarah, who worked at the front desk. They shared the small break room, the smell of coffee and pastries surrounding them. "Sarah, I think Mr. Blake likes me," Emily whispered. Sarah's eyes widened. "What? Are you sure?" Emily nodded, recounting everything she'd overheard. Sarah's expression shifted from shock to excitement. "Wow, that's huge. Maybe he'll finally tell you." Emily laughed nervously, but unease lingered. He was her boss. What if she was misreading everything? The thought of workplace complications and awkwardness clashed with the thrill that ran through her. The afternoon dragged, Emily's inbox filled with emails, yet she barely read any. Then a message pinged on her screen. "Hi, Emily. Can we meet in my office at 3 o'clock? I have something important to discuss." Her heartbeat sped up. "This is it," she whispered to herself. Sarah came by. "He wants to see you." "Yes, he said it's important," Emily murmured. The minutes crawled by. Emily adjusted her hair in the reflection of the monitor, rehearsing words she might say. She wasn't sure whether to expect a confession of affection or praise or something entirely unexpected. At exactly 3 o'clock, Emily walked to Mr. Blake's office, knocking lightly before entering. "Come in, Emily," he said, closing his computer with deliberate calmness. Please have a seat." She did. Her stomach fluttered. He looked serious yet approachable. "Thank you for coming," he began. "I want to discuss something important." Emily nodded, trying to keep her composure. He paused, then smiled gently. "Your work has been excellent. I've noticed how you handle clients, your patience, and how you assist the team. You're always polite, always kind. Your contributions matter." Emily's chest lifted with pride, but still curiosity gnawed. Was this leading to something more personal? "No, Emily," he continued, reading her confusion. "It's about a new opportunity. Our partners are opening a branch in Spain. We need someone reliable, someone who can help them set things up for 3 months. Your name came up in our meeting this morning. We think you'd be perfect." Her mind spun. Spain? A work trip? It wasn't about love. After all, it was about responsibility, trust, and growth. I see," she murmured. "I'll think about it." "Yes, take your time. Discuss with your family. But this is a chance to grow, to learn, and to experience something new." Emily walked back to her desk slowly, a mixture of relief and excitement swelling within her. Sarah rushed over, curiosity bright in her eyes. "So, Spain?" she asked. "Yes," Emily said, smiling. "Not what I imagined at all, but something incredible." The next few days were a whirlwind. Emily researched Spain, the culture, language, and logistics. She contacted family for advice, making lists, and mentally preparing for her first solo international trip. She realized that what she'd imagined romance or a personal connection was replaced with something greater, a professional opportunity she could shape. Her mind often wandered back to Mr. Blake's words. "We think you're perfect for this." The affirmation, the trust it made her feel capable in ways she hadn't experienced before. As departure day approached, Emily balanced excitement with fear. She'd never flown alone. She'd never handled such a project independently. But she understood growth came with discomfort. Finally, the morning arrived. Emily held her travel folder tightly, suitcase beside her, heart fluttering. Every check, passport, tickets, hotel confirmation, was double-checked. She felt a calm kind of nervousness, one that spoke of anticipation rather than dread. On the plane, cityscapes blurred beneath her. New experiences awaited. Unfamiliar streets, new colleagues, cultural nuances, and opportunities to shine. She realized this wasn't just about Spain. It was about stepping into the person she was becoming. Arriving at the Spanish airport, a driver greeted her with a sign bearing her name. The city's energy, the laughter of passers-by, and the scent of freshly baked pastries filled her senses. Everything felt foreign, yet promising. She understood then that she wasn't just traveling. She was embarking on a journey of self-discovery. By the time she reached the office branch, Emily was welcomed warmly. Sophia, the regional manager, introduced her to the team, smiling with genuine enthusiasm. Emily felt her confidence grow as she realized her role wasn't just to follow instructions, it was to guide, teach, and collaborate. Evenings in Spain were an adventure of their own. Emily wandered through streets lined with cafes, parks, and riversides. She immersed herself in local life, trying new foods, taking photos, and slowly feeling at home. Friendships began to form, Laughter echoed in conversations with fellow travelers, and Emily understood the true meaning of independence. Weeks later, Sophia called her into the office. "Emily, your guidance has been invaluable. We'd like to consider you for a training role, one that travels across all branches, not just Spain, France, Portugal, maybe more. We see your potential." Emily sat in stunned silence, absorbing the magnitude of what was being offered. What started as a misinterpreted phone call had led her to this moment, a leap into professional and personal growth. Emily thought she was chasing a story of love, but what she found was far bigger. Will she accept this unexpected chance that could take her across Europe? The morning sunlight spilled through the hotel window, painting Emily's room with soft amber tones. She sat cross-legged on the bed, her travel folder open, notebook beside her, and a cup of strong Spanish coffee steaming in her hands. The previous weeks had been a whirlwind: new city, new colleagues, a job she'd never imagined herself doing. And yet, despite her growing confidence, a small knot of anxiety lingered. She kept replaying Mr. Blake's words in her head. "We think you're perfect for this." She reminded herself that she wasn't perfect, nobody was, but the belief someone else had in her gave her courage she didn't know she possessed. Today, she would officially begin her role in the Spain branch. Walking through the streets toward the office, Emily felt the city's pulse around her. Cobblestone roads, tiny cafes with patrons chatting in rapid Spanish, the smell of freshly baked bread. It was invigorating. Every unfamiliar detail demanded her attention. Every sound and scent etched itself into her memory. Sophia, the regional manager, met her at the entrance with her characteristic warmth. "Emily, good morning," she said, extending her hand. "Today, you'll be helping train the new assistants and support our weekend travel program. Follow me." Inside the office, Emily was introduced to two young assistants, Carla and Lucia. Both were eager to learn, and Emily noticed the same nervous energy she'd felt on her first day at Mr. Blake's office in New York. She took a deep breath, smiled, and began showing them how to navigate the booking system, explaining procedures step by step, her voice calm and reassuring. Carla glanced at Emily, admiration in her eyes. "You make this look so easy," she said. Emily laughed softly. "It wasn't easy for me either at first," she admitted, "but once you understand the system, you'll feel confident too." As the day passed, Emily realized that teaching was different from doing the work herself. She had to anticipate questions, explain in simple terms, and stay patient even when mistakes were repeated. By lunchtime, she felt a subtle sense of pride. She wasn't just learning anymore, she was guiding, mentoring, shaping the team. After lunch, Emily took a short walk to a nearby cafe. She ordered a café con leche, settling at a small table by the window. Watching locals and tourists pass, she reflected on how much her life had changed in just a few weeks. The fear she had felt before boarding the plane had transformed into curiosity and determination. Back at the office, she encountered minor challenges. A booking error required her to call a hotel, navigating the conversation in a mix of English and broken Spanish. She stumbled over a few words but managed to secure a reservation. The assistants watched in awe, and Emily felt a warm glow of accomplishment. Each problem she solved built her confidence, teaching her resilience in a foreign environment. Evenings became a time for exploration. She wandered through streets lined with vibrant murals, discovered hidden bakeries, and listened to the rhythm of the city. One Sunday, she joined a walking tour, meeting two young women from Italy, Isabella and Giulia. They laughed, shared stories, and exchanged social media handles. For the first time, Emily felt a sense of connection that wasn't tied to work, a feeling of belonging in a city that had once felt alien. Weeks passed, and Emily became increasingly comfortable in her role. The new assistants improved under her guidance, gaining confidence in handling bookings and customer inquiries. Sophia noticed the progress. One afternoon, she called Emily into her office. "Emily, your help has been invaluable," Sophia said, her eyes bright. "The team appreciates how you guide them. We would like to discuss something special, possibly a training role across multiple branches, not just Spain, France, Portugal, even other regions. It would involve more travel, but we believe you have the ability to handle it." Emily's breath caught. The opportunity was incredible, but daunting. She remembered the nervous excitement of her first flight, the thrill of independence, and the satisfaction of being trusted. She understood now that her initial fear wasn't a barrier. It was a sign that she was stepping out of her comfort zone. The following days brought new challenges. A client requested a complex itinerary spanning 3 countries, requiring precise coordination with airlines, hotels, and local guides. Emily's meticulous planning and attention to detail ensured everything ran smoothly. Carla and Lucia watched closely, impressed by her competence. Emily realized that leadership wasn't about knowing everything. It was about learning quickly, adapting, and inspiring confidence in others. She began keeping a personal journal each night, recording her thoughts, victories, and fears. The act of writing became a ritual, helping her process the whirlwind of experiences. Sometimes she reflected on Mr. Blake's original words, not in a romantic sense, but as a reminder of trust and belief in her potential. Social interactions outside work also added depth to her journey. Emily learned a few Spanish phrases, shared laughter over pronunciation mistakes, and gradually felt a part of the community. Cafes became small sanctuaries where she could observe life unfolding around her, enriching her understanding of culture and human connection. As Emily gained confidence, she faced moments of self-doubt too. One Friday, a major booking error almost occurred due to a miscommunication with a hotel in Lisbon. Heart pounding, Emily resolved the issue, learning the importance of proactive communication and double-checking details. The experience was humbling but valuable, reminding her that growth often came through mistakes, not just successes. By the end of her second month, Emily had not only adapted but thrived. She handled multiple responsibilities with grace, gained the respect of colleagues, and forged new friendships. Sophia's proposal for the broader training role remained under consideration, leaving Emily both excited and contemplative. She knew that accepting it would take her further from comfort and familiarity, yet offered unmatched opportunities for professional development. One evening, Emily called Sarah back home. Sharing stories of her daily experiences, her successes, and minor failures, she felt a deep sense of gratitude. "You were right, Sarah," she said. "Being scared doesn't mean I shouldn't do it. It just means I care." Sarah laughed over the phone. "I'm proud of you. And remember, love isn't the only thing that changes your life, you are." Emily smiled, closing her journal for the night. Her journey had started with a misunderstanding, a misheard conversation, and a flutter of imagined romance. What she found instead was something larger: independence, skill, respect, and the courage to embrace opportunities. She realized growth often came disguised as uncertainty, and trust from oneself and from others was the fuel that propelled it forward. Days passed quickly. Emily's routine in Spain became a blend of work, learning, exploration, and reflection. She realized the trip wasn't just about helping the branch or training new staff. It was about discovering her own capacity for leadership, adaptability, and self-belief. Sophia's words echoed in her mind. "We see your potential, Emily. This could be your next step." Emily smiled to herself. Potential wasn't a distant promise. It was something she was living. One challenge, one lesson, one day at a time. Emily thought she had grown, but the biggest challenge and opportunity are still ahead. Will she take the leap and embrace a new role across Europe? Emily woke up early in Lisbon, the sun spilling gold across the terracotta rooftops. Her heart fluttered with a mix of excitement and nervousness. Today, she was scheduled to train a new team at the Portugal branch. The journey from Spain to Portugal had been smooth, yet every city brought its own rhythm, its own set of challenges. She sipped her coffee slowly, savoring the moment before diving into another busy day. Arriving at the office, Emily was greeted by Marco, the branch manager. "Welcome, Emily. We've heard great things from Sophia. We're excited to learn from you." His warm smile put her at ease. She took a deep breath, remembering all the lessons from her previous weeks: patience, clarity, and confidence. The new assistants, Anna and Sophia, looked nervous, mirroring Emily's own first day in New York. She knelt to their level, showing them the booking software and answering questions one by one. Emily realized that leadership wasn't just about solving problems. It was about inspiring others, making them feel capable and valued. She guided them through tricky itineraries, offered tips on handling clients, and celebrated small victories. By the afternoon, the team had gained confidence, and Emily felt a deep sense of pride. In the evenings, Emily explored Lisbon. The narrow streets, colorful tiles, and the aroma of pastéis de nata filled her senses. She met locals, practiced her Portuguese phrases, and even joined a traditional fado performance, captivated by the soulful music. The city had begun to feel less foreign, and Emily noticed a growing sense of belonging. But the work wasn't always easy. One day, a large corporate client requested an urgent itinerary spanning Lisbon, Madrid, and Paris. The time zones, hotel reservations, and airline schedules were overwhelming. Emily's mind raced, but she stayed calm, prioritizing tasks, delegating responsibilities, and double-checking every detail. By the end of the day, the booking was flawless, and her team applauded her composure. That evening, Emily reflected in her hotel room. Challenges were opportunities. and stress was just a test of her growth. Weeks passed, and Emily traveled to Paris. The city's charm, the art, and the elegance were breathtaking. At the Paris branch, she trained a small team, and her methods had become refined and efficient. She noticed patterns in how people learned, adjusted her approach, and inspired trust effortlessly. Her confidence soared. She realized she could handle anything, even in unfamiliar environments. Amid her professional growth, Emily experienced moments of introspection. One rainy evening in Paris, she sat by the window of her hotel room, watching the city lights shimmer on wet streets. She thought about her journey from imagining a romantic misunderstanding with her boss to now leading teams across Europe. The fear she once felt had transformed into empowerment. The moments of doubt were no longer paralyzing but teaching moments, shaping her into a resilient, self-assured woman. Emily's weekends were her time for cultural immersion and personal reflection. She wandered through museums, sat in quaint cafes, and practiced photography, capturing fleeting moments of life around her. These explorations reminded her that work was important, but personal growth and connection were equally vital. She even started journaling observations, not just about work, but about life, relationships, and her evolving identity. Back in the Spain office, Sophia kept in close contact, checking on Emily's progress and offering guidance. One afternoon, Sophia called with a proposal. "Emily, we would like to offer you the permanent European training role. It involves traveling to multiple branches, mentoring teams, and occasionally leading projects at headquarters. We believe you are ready." Emily felt a surge of emotion. The offer was everything she had been building toward. She remembered her initial fears, the moment she thought Mr. Blake was in love with her, and the series of misunderstandings that had led her here. Her growth was not just about skill, it was about courage, self-belief, and embracing uncertainty. She accepted the role with a calm certainty, knowing that this next chapter was her own creation. The months that followed were a whirlwind. Emily traveled to France, Portugal, and Spain repeatedly, leading training sessions, consulting with managers, and mentoring assistants. She faced language barriers, logistical challenges, and high expectations, but each obstacle reinforced her strength and adaptability. Emily's confidence in decision-making deepened, her communication skills sharpened, and she discovered an inner resilience she hadn't known existed. During one Paris training session, a young assistant, Julian, approached her. "Emily, I was so nervous about this job, but you made me feel capable. I want to thank you." Emily smiled, realizing the full circle of her journey from being a nervous newcomer to a mentor and leader. Each person she guided reminded her of her own growth. One evening, Emily reflected on the personal transformation she had undergone. The young woman who had doubted herself, imagined love where there was none, and feared stepping out of her comfort zone was gone. In her place stood a confident, independent, and capable leader, ready to take on new adventures. Her last trip of the series brought her to Lisbon once again. The familiar streets now felt like home. She walked along the river, watching the golden sunset reflect on the water. Emily felt a profound sense of gratitude for the challenges, the misunderstandings, the mentorship, and the experiences that had shaped her. She understood that life's twists and surprises often led to growth far greater than she could have anticipated. Returning to New York, Emily walked into Mr. Blake's office, feeling a mix of nostalgia and accomplishment. Kate ran to hug her immediately. "You've changed," she said. "I feel different," Emily admitted. "Stronger, more confident. I've learned that sometimes we misunderstand the world, but the opportunities hidden within those moments are what shape us." Mr. Blake smiled warmly. "Welcome back, Emily. I've heard incredible things. Your leadership has made a difference. The European training role was the right choice. You've earned it." Emily thanked him, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. She realized that her journey was never about romance or validation. It was about discovering her own strength, trusting herself, and embracing challenges. That evening, Emily sat by her window in her New York apartment, reflecting on her journey. She had flown across countries, trained teams, navigated challenges, and grown in ways she had never imagined. She smiled, realizing that life's most meaningful stories are not always love stories. They are stories of growth, courage, and self-discovery. As she closed her journal, Emily whispered to herself, "This is only the beginning. I am ready for whatever comes next." Which would you choose, love or opportunity? Watch Emily's story and see what she decides. Don't miss a moment of Emily's journey. Watch the full story now and see how one surprising opportunity changes everything. Don't forget to subscribe our channel Tales by Malik for more interesting stories.